So I'm going to try a little something different and do a segment about Oklahoma City Thunder basketball whenever possible for the rest of the regular season because, well, I'm interested and I want to see how this goes, just reacting to it as quickly as I can. And talking about, well, to start, 105-104 win for the Thunder against the Boston Celtics. Now, there was no Jaylen Brown to play against, like there was no Kemba Walker when Boston was in OKC last, but there was also no student government assembly for OKC. So it was setting up to be, okay, cool, they're equally matched because I would say the number 2 guy for both of those teams perhaps is on the bench or not playing, right? Depending on how you feel about SGA, depending on how you feel about Jaylen Brown. But we do know Chris Paul is a leader of that OKC team, and people want Jason Tatum to be the leader of that Boston Celtics team. And he's in a moment where he's just absolutely having a jump. I mean, anybody that's going to drop 40 on LeBron is having a jump. But I had made an upload earlier today where I was talking with my best friend Ron, who's in the back seat back there, saying, look, I think Dennis Schroder is one of the 10 best NBA players in the league right now. And if you look at real plus minus, he really is. Like, it's him at 10 and it's Chris Paul at 11. And you saw that in this game tonight. Both of those dudes combined for 56 points. Come on. 10 of 21 for 27 in 34. That's Schroder. And he had the steal and layup to end the ball game after I thought that, well, he kind of pissed it away with missed free throws and just refusing to take a shot. Schroder is becoming the guy that I wanted James Harden to be in the worst way. Many of you know that for the longest time, I defended James Harden, and I still, to some degree, defend James Harden. It's just lately, in this last couple of weeks, he's been pissing me off because I don't think that he's really paying attention. If anything, he's getting infected with KD brain, where he's more interested in what's going on around him than what the basketball actually is. And I flipped a table when I saw his line of 30, 10, 14, and 10. That 4-10 is not blocks. It's not steals. It's friggin' turnovers. And you take an L to the Charlotte Hornets. And you get outplayed by Scary Terry. It's not a good look. Meanwhile, tonight, they were down 18 at one point. And it wasn't necessarily because the Thunder were playing bad basketball. Shots weren't getting made. But at one point in the second quarter, Boston hit 5 straight threes. And Jason Tatum's knocking down shots. And yes, of course, we're used to Gordon Hayward is getting his buckets. He had 19. And we're used to perhaps even Marcus Smart making hustle plays. But when he's knocking down shots, I'm going, what gives here? And then Steven Adams is getting to the line, but he's not necessarily converting. We saw some ticky-tacky fouls toward the end. A couple of times where you're just going, ref, what are you doing? Why are you stopping this live ball play so you can go to the scoreboard about what was an inadvertent elbow to Marcus Smart's chest? Because he's the second leading flopper in the NBA behind one James Harden. But they kept playing. They kept battling. Chris Paul would get the switch, and rather than go by people, he would do what I really think sometimes other point guards will try to do, which is dribble past the defender or dribble themselves into a shot. Chris Paul is looking to get to a spot. He's looking to get to the elbow or he's looking to take that three. And it's so pretty. And he will get to his spot and he will deceptively really get off a shot that I don't sometimes think he has any shot to get off or make. But toward the end of the game, when it's crunch time and you see the Thunder are in this, I'm going, are they going to wilt? Is this what's happening? Because, again, with seconds remaining, looking like you're going to have to foul to get an opportunity to get the ball back after really giving up a game-winning shot, you have Dennis Schroder do exactly what he's been doing, which is be brilliant for the entire season. He'll win the Sixth Man of the Year award, but only the folks that are really paying attention are going to give him credit for the season that he's having. And the reason that we're not talking about him the way that we talk about Giannis and LeBron and Kawhi and Harden is because those guys are all averaging 27 to 30 points a game. All right. And you're just not going to get that coming off the bench for 34 minutes with OKC because the need for the ball to move is so much higher than it is for Giannis, than it is for LeBron, than it is for Harden. LeBron leads the league in assists because he wants to. But best believe when it's crunch time, it's him and it's AD. And it's more him than it is AD. You saw that with the 2 big wins that they had earlier this weekend. They thumped Milwaukee. They thumped the Clippers. And Lakers fans get to walk in to work tomorrow all big and Brody. I feel OKC fans should not necessarily feel that way because I think some of us are quite honestly spoiled. This team had no business being this good. And now they're sitting at like a 63% win percentage, which is ridiculous when you really think about what it was supposed to be, which was blowing this thing up and going at it again. But now you get a win against a class team in the East, a team that can absolutely not just be there at the Eastern Conference Finals, but in the NBA Finals, and one of the young and more fun teams to watch, and one of the teams that you can really say is a good litmus test for who you are in March with just a month left of the season. This is a tremendously big win, and Chris Paul said it best in the postgame. I haven't been this emotional in a long time, and I will go to war with Dennis Schroder any day of the week. That's the kind of teammate that you want. That's the kind of guard play that you got. Even when those guys look to be a little bit pissed at each other, Chris at Dennis because he made him take this shot that Dennis should have taken like 4 seconds before, and then you get the shot clock violation. They still want to be teammates. They still want to play together. That's not something that you can take for granted, especially in this NBA. You cannot take for granted the team chemistry that I really think we got to credit Chris Paul for really pushing into the forefront, because I look around at this team for leaders, and there ain't but one. Even as I think Dennis Schroder is one of the best players, he's not the best leader. That's Chris Paul's team, and that was on display all night. And I think I wanted to do like 7 minutes on this, but this might just be enough because it just underscores some things that I really want to take into account, which is this was a good shooting basketball game. Gordon Hayward played 37 minutes, scored 24 points, 9 of 19. Marcus Smart played 37 minutes, scored 19 points, 7 of 17. Jason Tatum's 8 of 22, so that's not too great, but ain't too bad either for 19. And you're looking at the shooting percentage, OKC was 10 of 25 from 3, but 13 of 37 for Boston. Both of these teams shot really well from 3. Both of these teams shot better than 75%, better than 70% from the free throw line. And then you're looking at the shooting percentage, 44% for OKC, 41% for Boston. Turnovers, yes, 13 and 16, but I think that was because there were some really great on-the-ball defenders there tonight. There were times when I didn't think that OKC had any business really trying to get past that Boston perimeter defense, because while Jason Tatum ain't the best two-way player, he can be the best two-way player. And when Marcus Smart was actually on the ball and defending well, they're tough to break down. And yet and still, they got a really great win against a really good Eastern Conference team. They're going to be fun. They lock up the 6th seed, they're going to be fun. And now the conversation becomes, what can they do once they get into the playoffs? And what they can do is be a really tough out in the first round and an extremely tough out in the second round, and then we might see. I don't expect them to get past the first round, but this has been a lot of fun. All right, if you like this, let me know about it in the comments below.